You are a stranger in a family's home. No matter how inviting they are, you always feel like an outsider. Then the one person that was on your side suddenly dies. You start doubting everyone, including the person who is close to you, but you also get your hands on a large sum of money. And when faced with a decision to keep all that money or save a life, you make the honorable choice. So you get rewarded nicely and live a life happily ever after. But how did Marta know who to trust when everybody was backstabbing her? In this video, we will examine what makes someone trustworthy and how we can adopt those traits to our own lives. Before we go on, if you could please like this video. We make these film relationship advice videos about once a week, and a like would help us tremendously. Marta trusted Ransom, and he goes against her back and he even tries to kill her.
In for a penny.
She trusted the family, but they turn on her as soon as the will is read.
Little bitch! You! Little bitch!
She trusted Meg, a supposed friend of hers, but she also turns on her for the sake of money.
Marta, you know this isn't fair. We've always been good to you, and you're like family, and we'll take care of you, but you have to make things right.
She even has a hard time trusting Harlan and believing in all of his instructions right before he dies.
This is crazy. I don't think I can do
We need
that.
to make this so airtight that the average cop will entirely dismiss you as a suspect.
So how and when do we trust? This answer is a simple one. If you're a good friend, you do nice things for each other, you listen, you care, you're there for them. But what do you do when suddenly your father dies and he's super rich and maybe you're thinking a little bit too much about his money rather than his death? The Thrombeys are left with a big choice, an ultimatum. Honor their father's will and wish Marta well, or try and get the money back to use it for their own greedy agendas. Can you think of a time when your friend chose someone else over you, or even some place or something else? It hurts. It's not exactly the greatest feeling. When the going gets tough, that's when you show your true colors. Are you the type of friend who walks the extra mile? Even when your feet are screaming at you to go home. You would if you love your friend. If you're thinking, well, I do love my friend, but I don't know if I would walk that mile, that's fair, but it doesn't have to be anything big. You can show your trustworthiness in small things. Researcher Brené Brown writes about how her daughter knows who her real friends are in her book, Daring Greatly. They keep our secrets. They remember my birthday. They know who Oma and Opa are. They always make sure I'm included in fun things. They know when I'm sad and ask me why. When I miss school because I'm sick, they ask their moms to call to check on me. So it doesn't have to be anything extraordinary, but I personally believe in those situations where you have to choose between yourself or them, your true colors will be shown. The Thrombeys chose themselves, feigning empathy with Marta, but in reality trying to win her favor.
Marta, if your mother came into the country illegally, criminally, and you come into this inheritance with all the scrutiny that entails, I'd be afraid that could come to light.
When Marta is in this situation, she has to choose between saving Fran or keeping the money safe. Marta is kind. She knows the value of a human life far outweighs money.
And if Marta had not outplayed you once again by having a kind heart, by saving Fran's life, though it meant her losing the inheritance and going to jail, she didn't play your game.
The Thrombeys, on the other hand, could not care less about Marta. They throw her to the side, hoping she will denounce the will.
She has to renounce the inheritance.
She knows it's what she should do. It's the right thing to do, right?
It's the moral thing.
Right before Harlan dies, he explains all the steps to Marta, taking into account her situation and feelings.
Pay attention now. Your mom is still undocumented, and if this is your fault, she'll be found out and at best deported, and your family will be broken.
He easily could have blamed her for killing him, been so distraught, and called his family to come arrest her. But instead, he spends his dying minutes instructing Marta to save herself. Taken from the science of empathy, Harlan does this well with Marta.
If you're having trouble seeing things from another person's point of view, ask yourself, are you just putting yourself in their position? Or are you truly looking beyond yourself and putting in some real emotional energy into understanding their experience as a human being?
That's what sets certain people apart from others. That's why Marta trusts Harlan. Empathy. The ability to not only feel for them, but to feel with them. All of the other people interested in helping Marta were only out to better their circumstances. So if you want to be trustworthy, show empathy and walk the extra mile. But don't continue walking if you don't care. That's fake empathy. Only if you truly care about that person, and if you're willing to see beyond yourself, should you go the extra mile. and who knows, you might inherit a fortune for doing good. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. We make these film and relationship advice videos about once a week. If you have a love story that this reminds you of, please email us at filmlovestories@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we will see you in the next one.
Sure, do you trust me?
What?
Do you trust me?